Welcome to the Alpha Girl Confidence Podcast, where we are empowering youth female athletes to play and live confidently. My name is Shay Haddo, and each week I will bring you new episodes to teach you the strategies and tools that you need in order to live a confident, empowered life both on and off the playing field. Hey, what's up? Welcome back to the show. So this is our first week of doing 2 episodes every week. So every Monday and Thursday, there will be a new podcast released every single week. So make sure on Mondays and Thursdays, you subscribe, make sure that you're checking those out. So on Thursdays, we're going to mix Thursdays with Q&A episodes and also special guest interviews and player interviews. So today we're going to do a Q&A episode. Today is questions from players that I've gotten from listeners in the community. And so today we're going to get straight into the question that I think is one of the most common questions that I get from the girls that I work with. And it's also a hard one to answer. So here's the question, and I think you'll be able to relate to it. The question is, how do I deal with teammates that don't take it seriously and don't play hard? So basically those teammates that don't try as hard and those teammates that don't really care to win, or at least it seems like they don't care to win. So like I said, this question is, I would say, the most common question that I get when we do Q&A calls in the Alpha Girl Confidence programs. So here, there are 2 things that you need to understand before we really get into this, okay? So number 1 is you cannot change someone else's behavior. You cannot change your teammates' behavior. You can't change your coach's behavior. You can't change your sister or your brother's behavior. You have no control over that. Okay, but you can try to affect change. You can try to affect change, but ultimately you have no control over that. Okay, so that's the first thing you need to understand. And the second thing you need to understand is that energy is contagious. All energy is contagious. Your negative energy is contagious. Your positive energy, your confidence, your self-doubt, like all of the energy that we have is contagious to the people around us. So now that we understand those 2 things, we can more effectively deal with this very common issue of having teammates that aren't taking it as seriously as you are or as you would like, right? And which is probably affecting your team's performance and making it really frustrating to, play and practice with those players. So although you can't change someone else's behavior, you can change your own, right? You do have full control over your behavior. And when you change your behavior, your energy becomes contagious to your teammates. So you can let their negative energy penetrate your energy bubble. That's one thing you can do. You can let that penetrate you, and then you have this negative energy and you get frustrated and you just feel all those negative energies. Or you can decide to block their negative energy and shift your energy to the opposite. So shift your energy to super hardworking, to positive, to confident, to totally be in control of your energy, block their energy, and instead push out the energy that you want. Okay. So the harder and more positive, like the harder you work and the more positive the energy you bring is, the more likely that energy will transfer over to your teammates. Now, I'm not saying that just because you're positive and you work hard, that boom, automatically your teammates are going to totally mirror your energy. Unfortunately, it doesn't work that way, but it does work. But I just want you to understand that, like, just because you do it, it doesn't mean that it's going to work. It can, but it doesn't mean it's guaranteed to work. Okay. So let's say that you do that you change your energy and that nothing changes. Like you change your energy and your teammates they still are the same way. Okay, so there's 2 things that I want to talk about that you can do in that situation. Okay, and the number 1 thing, and this is something you can talk to your coach about, or maybe you just get together with, some of the captains of the team, but have a team meeting and don't sit and rat on the girls that have the bad energy. That's not going to do any good. But have a team meeting and discuss the team goals and your team expectations. So here's why that's important. When you sit down and you discuss your team goals, it gets everyone kind of on the same page, everyone thinking together. Because if you have a goal and your teammate has a goal and your other teammate has a goal and they're all different, Like it's going to be hard to achieve a team goal if you all have different goals. So sit down as a team, and you don't have to do this with the coach. You can. I like doing team meetings like this without the coach personally, but have a team meeting and discuss, like, what are the goals that we want as a team? Like, what are we trying to accomplish? What do we want to get out of this tournament? What do we want to get out of this season? And come up with some really tangible goals. Now, in addition to those goals, right, that's the destination, is you want to come up with, okay, so what are some things that we need to do as a team in order to accomplish those goals? So here's where the energy comes in. Here's where you can step in and be like, all right, in order to achieve this goal of winning, this championship, this tournament, right? In order to achieve that, like, we all have to be like fully bought in and working hard, and like our energy and our intensity has to be really high during practice, right? So here's what you can kind of like tell them in a roundabout way, in a sense, like, that in order to achieve these goals, this is what we need to do. This is what we need to do. And here's how we're going to do it. Okay. So when you do that, that's the goals part. And then the expectations. So expectations of the team, what does that look like? I mean, showing up early to practice, 10 minutes, 15 minutes early, and starting to warm up. It means that you work your butt off every single drill. It means that when someone else falls, you pick them up. So, like, what are the expectations or the values of your team? Okay. So let's say worst case scenario, none of this works, right? And I am, the team meeting hopefully will work depending on where those players are at. But definitely I would suggest the team meeting. But let's say, all right, let's say that doesn't work, right? You do the team meeting, you change your energy, you do all of the things, and they still don't care. Okay, two things I'm going to suggest here. Number one is have a direct conversation with that person, right? You can even do this before the team meeting if you want, but at some point you may have to have a direct conversation with that player and discuss with them how their energy and how their lack of effort and their lack of caring is affecting the team as a whole. Okay, you might have to have that conversation. And number two is honestly realizing that you can't change them, is just stop putting your energy towards them and focus on yourself and focus on the team as a whole, and stop putting all this energy and worry and frustration into what they are or aren't doing. All right. So I hope this is helpful for you. A little recap. All right. Little recap is, number one, understand that you can't change someone's behavior. Number two is energy is contagious. And with those things understood, you can then, number one, change your energy and change your behavior, because that's contagious. And number two is have some sort of team meeting, to set the goals and set the expectations of the team. And then also throwing in there, have a direct conversation with that player, just one-to-one, one-on-one, have a conversation with that player. All right. So I hope this was helpful. If it was, then you're going to want to check out the Daily Confidence, where we covered topics like this regularly, as well as tons of other mindset and confidence strategies to help you perform and also feel at your best. So in this program, I send you 3 video text messages every week with tips and strategies that you can implement immediately. So to learn more about the Daily Confidence, we'll put the link in the show notes below, or you can text the word confident to 844-928-3192. Again, you can text the word confident to 844-928-3192. All right, if this episode was helpful, share it with a friend, implement, and I will see you next week.